Alright, for numbers 10 through 13, you have to describe the transformation or transformations, and you have to graph the parent function f of x equals x cubed along with g of x on the same plane. So as you can see on the screen, I've already graphed f of x, which is equal to x cubed. That's the parent function. And I also wrote that this function has a horizontal stretch by a factor of 3. Now, how do I know that? I identified this as b. A equals 1, because a would be located over here. And h is 0, so I'll put, and h is 0, and k is 0, because they don't show up. So b being 1/3 means that we're gonna you multiply the x by the reciprocal of 1/3. So the reciprocal of 1/3 is 3. So there's a horizontal stretch by a factor of 3. Okay. So when we use our our points, remember well, let me write the formula first. So we use this for all of them. 1 over b x plus h, is that an order pair, and the y would be a y plus k. Okay, that's a plus right there. So the only thing that's going to change here, because the only number we have other than 1 or 0 for hk is b. Okay, so we're going to multiply the x coordinates by 3. So negative 1, negative 1. So we're starting off with those, and we're multiplying the x's by 3. Okay, because we're multiplying it by 1 over b, and 1 over b is 3. So 3 times, so I'll put it right here on the top, so times 3 on the x's. So that gives me negative 3. Y does not change. 0 times 3 is 0. And 1 times 3 is 3. Notice the y does not change. So these points right here are the ones that are g of x points. Okay, these are the points that are associated with g of x. So now I'm going to plot them. So negative 3, negative 1, 0, 0, and 3, 1. So it goes out like this, and down like this. Okay. So there, the pink one, that's g of x, and the green one, that's f of x. So f of x, the green one, is the parent function, and g of x, the transformed one, is the pink one. Alright, number 11. It looks similar to 10, except that notice the 1/3 is not in parentheses with the x. So 1/3 is, you could think of it as a coefficient of x cubed. So in this case, let me just change the color. This is your a value. Okay, so a is 1/3, and so a does what it says. So this one is a vertical compression by a factor of 1/3, and we know it's a compression because 1/3 is less than 1. Alright, and then we're supposed to graph both functions, so I forgot to put the parent function, so let me put it in right now. The parent function has these points as reference points, so it curves up and then curves down like that. So the green function is the parent function, f of x equals x cubed. So since a is the only transformation here, the x-coordinate is not going to change, only the y-coordinate, because a affects the y. So I can just start off by drawing the points negative 1, negative 1. That's a comma. And then 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay? So the y's are going to get multiplied by 1/3. So up here I could put times 1/3 as a reminder, but the x's are not going to change this time because b is 1. So b is the one that changes the x. And there's no h and there's no k. Okay, so the only change we're going to see is by multiplying the a by y. So negative 1, 1/3 times negative 1 is negative 1/3. 0, 0 times 0 is 0. And then 1 times 1/3 is 1/3. So only the y's change. Okay, so now we're going to plot the points. Negative 1, negative 1/3. So notice I used 3 squares for 1 unit on the graph because I knew that the numbers were going to be, 1/3. So to make it a little bit easier on when we graph, so it's going to be negative 1, negative 1/3, about here, 0, 0, and then 1, 1/3. So it's going to be about here. Okay? So it's a little bit lower, a little bit curvier, and there it is. So the pink one is g of x, and the green one is f of x, which is the parent function x cubed. Alright, for number 12, a is 1, b is 1, but this time h is 4, and k is negative 3. So this is the h, and this is the k. So remember, h affects the x, and k affects the y. So that means that we're going to take our reference points, and for x's we're going to add 4, and for y's we're going to subtract 3. Okay, because remember, h is counterintuitive. Even though you see the x minus 4, it's actually positive 4. And the k, you do what it says. If it's minus 3, it's down 3. Okay? So, let's do the transformations. 4 minus 1, again, I'm going down, I'm going to the first point. So 4 minus 1 is 3. And then negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. And then I go to 0. So 0, 0. 4 plus 0 is 4. And then negative 3 plus 0 is negative 3. And then I go to the last point. 4 plus 1 is 5. And then negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So right here I have the 3 points that are associated to these points, but these are from the parent function, and these are from the transformed g of x function. Okay, so now we're going to plot them. And so 3, negative 4 is here, approximately. 4, negative 3 here, and 5, negative 2. Now I know it looks like it's a straight, like you would draw a straight line through the 3 points, but you don't. It's an x cubed function, so it has the same exact shape as the green function, okay, as x cubed. So curve it, this, and then this curves down like that, something like that. So as you can see, it's the same exact shape as this one, right? Except it went to the right 4 and down 3. Alright, number 13. You have a is 1, because again, there's no number there, so we know it's a 1. B is 1, because the coefficient of x inside the parentheses is 1. H we're going to find right here, and K we're going to find right here. So this would be your H, negative 1, and this would be your K, positive 2. Okay? So remember, H affects the X, K affects the Y. So we're going to add negative 1 to the X's and positive 2 to the Y's in our reference points. So let me go ahead and draw the parent function. So it goes through 1, 1, and it goes to 0, 0, and then negative 1, negative 1. Okay? So it goes through here, here, here. Okay, so the green one is the parent function. So let's draw the points. negative 1, negative 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. So as a reminder, I'm going to put a minus 1 up here and a plus 2 up here, just to remind me that, okay, h is negative 1 and it's going to affect the x's, k is positive 2 and it's going to affect the y's. Okay, so negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, negative 1 plus 0 is negative 1. 2 plus 0 is 2. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So again, these points are the transformed points for g of x. These are the reference points that we use for the parent function f of x. So now let's go ahead and plot the points, negative 2, 1. Oops, forgot to change the marker, sorry. So negative 2, 1, about here. Negative 1, 2. And then 0, 3. Okay, again, it looks like you could draw a straight line through them, but that's not the right graph. The graph is the cube function, so it goes something like this, and then it curves down like this. Okay, so the pink one is g